I have roadside trees which would be fairly old, about 150, 200 years old, and I was concerned about branches falling on the road. So an opportunity came up to go down to Kilkenny for a day's seminar on assessing dangerous trees. So I went to that, came back and looked at all the trees around the farm and decided there were 6 in this particular line which were definitely dangerous. So I said, right, I need to take them out. I'd arranged with a friend of mine to come over and help me. The day it happened, I wasn't feeling great, had a chest infection, and that certainly clouded my judgment, and that's something I would say that, you know, I broke my own rule, which is not to do things when you're tired and when you're sick. Probably in hindsight now, I would say I should have put him off. But sort of farming is, the nature of farming is that when the opportunity comes, you take it, because you don't know if you'll get it again. He came at about 9, 10 in the morning, and we went out and cut 3 trees. Came in, had a cup of tea or something, and I was feeling tired, but I said, you know, I won't get him again maybe for a couple of months. So went out and did the last tree as it was. I cut what's called the duck's bill. You cut a notch out of the front of the tree in the direction you want it to fall. So I did the back notch on one side and then started the other notch to cut. And as I was cutting that, the tree started twisting. And that's not what you want to feel or see. Now I had my escape route marked out, and the tree was supposed to fall that way, and I ran that way. But instead, the tree fell, same as me. And the last thing I remember was running and saying, oh, dear. And I didn't want the chainsaw messing up my legs because it was still running. So I threw the chainsaw under the tree, and that's the last thing I remember. I woke up 2.5 months later. Helicopter was called in because of an agricultural accident, and they didn't know it was beside the road. And that's what saved my life, I think. From here to Tallaght Hospital, 12 minutes. Tallaght emergency unit was on the helicopter pad to get me in straight away. I think if I had been ambulanced to Portlaoise, Tullamore, Kilkenny, wherever, I think I would be dead. Because, I mean, anybody my age with those injuries wouldn't live. So I was very lucky I got immediate and prompt attention. So I was in ICU in Tallaght for about 2 months after that. Got hospital-acquired pneumonia, nearly died twice. My kidneys went out, I was on dialysis. The only thing that was actually working was my heart and my liver. I mean, my body died, virtually. All of my muscle wasted away. I'd broken my back in 3 places. I'd broken all my ribs. My lungs were punctured. My shoulder was broken in 2 places, and I'd gashed my head. So I was sent over to the Mater, and they put in rods into my back with screws. I was in hospital for 6 months, between Tallaght and then the Mater for a week, and then back to Tallaght, and then to Peamount for rehabilitation. And that was great. They got me walking, and like I went into Peamount on a wheelchair, and 2 weeks later I was walking. Now, okay, with the Zimmer frame, but I was actually able to walk. It was fantastic. The biggest problem then was coming off the opiates. I was on a high rate of opiates for pain killing, and that took 1.5 years. That was tough going for me and for everybody around me. It took about 2 years to fully recover. So, I mean, you can say for 2 years, the family were affected. You know, their lives were put out of joint, and that was just for 1 second of stupidity or accident on my half. You know, either tired, working to too tight a schedule, but the thing is, you'll have all the time in the world in your coffin. You don't have time to enjoy your grandchildren. It has changed my attitude towards life. I'm much calmer, if you like. I certainly take my time about things. I'm much more safety conscious. So, you know, I have my family, I have my grandchildren, I have my wife, and I'm very, very lucky. Yeah, I'm really lucky.